Este es es el encuentro posiblemente más importante del año.
This game, Real Madrid-Barcelona, is always a special one.
It's the Clasico of the world.
Y espero una afición muy buena, con un ambiente fantástico, con una atmósfera brillante.
There is a confrontación between two clubs, it's two cities, it's two ideas of Spain.
Crec que ha arribat el moment clau de la temporada, ens ho juguem tot. Si volem guanyar tenim que sortir sempre així.
Va a ser un partido muy especial, sí, con gran responsabilidad, sí.
Como eso además representa un duelo que tiene más de un siglo de historia, yo creo que para España no hay nada más importante, no habrá nada más importante mañana a las 10 de la noche que este partido.
Lo puedo decir con rotundidad, va a parar el país en sí su totalidad.
Yo creo que no hay nada mejor que ofrecer en el mundo del fútbol actual. Es un país donde Madrid está en el centro de la península y le rodea la tierra, ¿no? Digamos Castilla, mientras que Barcelona está a orillas del Mediterráneo y está cerca de Francia.
The two cities are very different. You just have to look at the Parque Retiro in Madrid, which is kind of very, I don't know how to explain it, very kind of enlightenment. You know, it's almost, everything's very kind of parallel, very diagonal, all very kind of in its place. It's almost Louis XIV, you know, whereas if you look at Parque Güell in Barcelona, I mean, it's just miles from it.
Cataluña es una nación absolutamente, históricamente, con todos los rasgos que la ciencia política en todo el universo planetario define lo que es una nación. Es una comunidad pues, que tiene unas características sociológicas, económicas, antropológicas, culturales, históricas, idiomáticas, y que tiene una conciencia, que es un factor muy importante de ser. Somos catalanes.
Catalonia has never been a comfortable part of the Spanish polity, of the Spanish crown. The rivalry between Catalonia and Madrid dates back to the Arab invasions, because Catalonia was not conquered by the Arabs. In 1714, because Catalonia had sided with the Austrian candidate, the new King of Spain, who was French Bourbon, Philip V, organized a royal invasion of Catalonia in 1714. It was a very brutal episode, and Catalan identity, language, legal system and traditions were completely extinguished in 1714.
The emergence of Catalan nationalism in Catalonia made of anything Catalan an alternative to the rest of Spain, and Catalonia began to look towards themselves as a separate sort of region with a particular language and culture and a sort of differentiated society inside Spain. When football emerged as a sort of mass entertainment in the 1920s, Barcelona football team became a sort of symbol of Catalan nationalism.
People in general are very aware that Spanish football is politicised, and to say to a Spaniard, hey, football and politics shouldn't mix, is a slightly absurd statement.
Cuando terminó la Guerra Civil Española, el franquismo quería hacer un genocidio cultural en Cataluña. Prohibió la lengua, la cultura catalana. Casi el equivalente del 10% de la población de Cataluña, 10% de la población de Cataluña se fue al exilio y casi escasamente retornó un margen muy pequeño.
Durante el franquismo, durante la dictadura, pues se utilizaba el Barcelona como un club de Cataluña para llevar banderas catalanas que estaban prohibidas al campo. Y entonces se creó en aquella época, con un cierto fundamento, una mitología de que el Barcelona era más que un club que representaba a Cataluña. La gente gritaba visca el Barça y visca Cataluña. Era un instrumento simbólico contra una dictadura que oprimía a Cataluña.
I think what Barça became is this place of self-assertion, of where you can still show your feelings, where you can still show your tradition, where you can speak, you want to try and keep your language alive even if it's persecuted.
And here in the Camp Nou, it was the only space in Catalonia where we could speak Catalan, where we could show our flags, and we should feel a little bit free, no? With the freedom. That's why Camp Nou means many things, especially for old people and people from my generation.
Y nosotros somos de Barcelona, pero dentro de Barcelona hay diferentes puntos de vista y diferentes sensibilidades. Nosotros tenemos un denominador común, que es el Barcelona.
And here we are having Mesca Club. It's in Catalan. You know that here in Catalonia we speak Catalan, also Spanish, but our language is Catalan. And this means that we feel more than a club.
Es el Barcelona. Ocupa un espacio extraordinario porque es la alternativa, de una forma muy difusa, muy vaga en muchos lugares, pero es la alternativa al poder establecido.
Porque creo que en el fondo el Barça busca con este mensaje transmitir al mundo que no todo es una cuestión simplemente comercial, sino que puede ser una cuestión sentimental.
All this historical baggage and grievance and all this really comes from Barcelona. So in other words, Barcelona sees itself very much as more than a club, but more than a club really means this small part of the world with 6 million people called Catalonia.
You play for a club, but you play for the whole of Catalonia. When you play for Barcelona, it is different.
Pero en torno a un 45 o 46% de los catalanes se considera o solo catalán o más catalán que español. Otro 45%, más o menos, poco menos, 43%, se considera igual catalán que español.
And the vast majority of the population in Spain as a whole has what they perceive as dual identities. There's nothing strange for a Catalan, to define herself or himself as Catalan and Spanish, or as a Spanish and Catalan.
Y si podría preguntarte, ¿qué sientes tú, catalán o español, o dos? O...
No, yo soy catalán y español, los dos.
Por tanto, que hay una identidad catalana, sin duda, pero es una identidad muy diversa.
If you go to Barcelona, you could see that there are
two environments completely different. One is the political, talking about national identity and so on, and other is on the street. On the streets, people talk about sports, about economy, but not too much about national identity. I think that in part is a creation or politician.
Lo importante es que defiendan a Cataluña y que se sientan catalanes, aunque sea de una forma muy difusa, muy vaga, pero esto lo que hace es que la gente se identifique con ellos, es decir, las frustraciones.
So if we want to understand Spanish national identities in plural, if we want to understand Basque identities or Catalan identities, we certainly have to look at football, because it's a way to see how these identities are created and manifest from below.
Sin el franquismo no hubiesen existido en la proporción en la que existen. Entonces el fútbol servía una forma de confrontación que no se podía realizar públicamente, ni abiertamente, ni veladamente, y esto es lo que va construyendo esta rivalidad que se va haciendo, creciendo.
Catalonia has been a very successful region within the Spanish state, as well as being a very successful region in its own right. So that does mean that the dynamics, if you like, of what nationalism means can be slightly different, and Catalan nationalism in purely political terms has been relatively mainstream rather than radical.
El hecho de que en los últimos años el Barcelona haya vivido su edad de oro, la esté viviendo, eso ha significado 9 títulos de Liga en 20 años, 3 Copas de Europa, campeón del mundo de clubes, es decir, se ha convertido en el club referencial en el mundo, en aspectos futbolísticos. Esto es la parte que más me ha interesado a mí en mi trayectoria como periodista deportivo. Es decir, cómo ha sido capaz de girar su propia historia el Barcelona y espantar sus demonios y convertirse en un club que abandonó sus tentaciones victimistas.
Simplement és collonut. Moltíssimes gràcies. Visca el Barça i visca Catalunya!
I believe that in the last 15 years the roles have been reversed, and Real Madrid now have this sense of victimism, this chip on the shoulder. Referees are not helping us, not protecting our stars.
Y la tiene porque para el aficionado al fútbol representa un modelo a seguir, representa la belleza en muchos casos, representa al Barcelona. Hay que concederle, como se concede al Madrid, una vocación universal. Si se olvida eso, si solo se le limita a ese enfoque estrictamente catalán, para mí se le hace daño al Barcelona como institución. Yo creo que es una institución universal. Más que un club es un eslogan. Lo han vendido bien, funciona bien en el Barcelona. El Madrid no tiene un eslogan de estas características, pero yo creo que el Madrid siente, o en el Madrid se siente, que es una institución que aglutina, digamos, el sentimiento del español medio.
Pero es una mujer que se mete hasta dentro de tu corazón. Es una ciudad abierta, libre, donde nadie te pregunta de dónde eres.
Madrid is open city, open mentality, high concept of the hospitality, and your house, my house, is open house for the people who come.
We must take into account that Spain is the oldest country in Europe. The first national state is Spain.
I think it's a nation. It's a nation with different cultures, with a strong plural territoriality inside that unit. But I don't have the slightest doubt that Spain is a nation and has been in the last 300 or 400 years.
In a very old country with huge problems during 300 years, it's normal that to have regional problems, regional tensions.
El Madrid nunca se ha considerado un símbolo fuerte de ninguna parte de España. Se puede considerar el equipo de España en algún momento, pero en realidad la tónica del Real Madrid siempre ha sido mantener buenas relaciones con cualquier régimen político que ha existido en España.
El Real Madrid es un poco como el resumen, la reunión de todos los principios de España. El Real Madrid es un equipo mucho menos politizado, mientras que el Barcelona es un equipo muy politizado, y sobre todo el público. Lo considero como una guerra incruenta, pero guerra,
Real Madrid started in 1902 with a very different identity from Barcelona. They started as a royal football club, therefore Real Madrid was associated with central power, with the crown, the court, the capital city, and that is why Real Madrid provokes sentiments of admiration but also of hatred.
Políticamente siempre ha ido con las circunstancias del país, no es que ha ido cambiando, o sea, no es un club que toda su vida haya tenido la misma ideología, ha respetado la monarquía, ha respetado la república, ha respetado siempre el signo político.
The political character of Real Madrid was given to it by its president, Bernabeu. Bernabeu was a tremendously important president. He was the man who made Real Madrid the institution it is today. The stadium is named after him, of course. Bernabeu was president of Real Madrid from 1943, 4 years after the Civil War, right until his death in 1978.
History is very important, and I think sport is a link to the history of the country and to the culture of the country. The great history of ethnic European football started in the 50s with the beginning of the European Cup.
El Real Madrid se convierte en un fenómeno internacional a partir de los años 50, cuando consigue ganar sucesivamente 5 Copas de Europa y comienza a viajar por América Latina, por Estados Unidos, en giras en el verano.
Real Madrid, in the 60s, became the most important football team in Spain and the only international presence of Franco's regime. It's a bit unfair for Real Madrid, but became a sort of symbol, or at least window, a diplomatic window for the Franco's regime in Europe.
Felicitaciones de sus excelencias y recoger el trofeo que simboliza el preciado título de campeona vez.
España es un régimen muy cerrado, es un régimen con una dictadura franquista en el que prácticamente el exterior no sabe nada de lo que ocurre en España y España no sabe nada de lo que ocurre en el mundo. ¿Cómo se descubre esto? Pues a través del fútbol y del Real Madrid. Por eso mucha gente dice que el Madrid es un equipo del gobierno.
It was practically the only thing that was successful about Spain in the 1950s and 60s.
In that country, with lack of self-confidence, completely isolated from the rest of the world, from the rest of Europe, to have one thing, which is the European champion every single year, is something amazing.
Suddenly they produced the greatest football team ever seen until that moment, won 5 European Cups.
I don't want to be a loser. I want to be a winner. How is the way to be a winner in Spain? To be a member of Real Madrid, which is the only winner that we have.
The great player of the 50s and 60s was a guy called Alfredo Di Stefano, who was an Argentine. He was the player of that era, and probably the key reason why Real Madrid won one European championship after another and really acquired their myth as a legendary club.
Creo que donde empieza a fraguarse la mayor parte de la tensión, por decirlo de alguna manera, que se genera entre el Madrid y el Barcelona, nace con Di Stéfano. El fichaje de Alfredo Di Stéfano en el año 53 cambió el signo del fútbol español, la historia del fútbol español y especialmente la historia del Real Madrid.
He was known at the time as the most important football player in the world. Barcelona tried to sign him by the book. Legally, Di Stéfano should have gone to Barcelona, but there was the sense in Madrid that if Barcelona took Di Stéfano, they'd be unstoppable. They already had Kubala, Suarez, Hungarian players, and Real Madrid needed a big star. Real Madrid in 1947 built the stadium. But they didn't have a team to fill the stadium. Real Madrid won the European Cup 5 times with Di Stéfano, which has never been done since and probably never will be. And then the balance of power passed to Real Madrid.
Y cualquier aprovechamiento que se pudiera hacer de los éxitos de algo español, evidentemente le resultaba beneficioso al régimen. Pero de ahí a considerar que el Madrid era el equipo del régimen, a mí me parece que eso es un error. Yo quiero decir una cosa, el Madrid tardó 15 años en ganar su primera liga después de la Guerra Civil.
Veamos a Di Stéfano conseguir el primer gol.
And this is, in a way, the most important thing. Often the mythology matters more than the fact. The mythology that feeds into the rivalry, that feeds into the way that Catalans and Barcelona fans see Real Madrid. And so that regime tag that Real Madrid have will never go away, even if it's not entirely fair.
En el campo de las Corts van a encontrarse en partido de segunda vuelta para el campeonato de Liga el Real Madrid y el Barcelona Club de Fútbol. Existe enorme expectación y el lleno es absoluto. Ante el árbitro, señor Iturralde.
The Catalans, Barcelona, have got this sense of historical grievance that's accumulated. In Real Madrid, they are the power. They don't feel victims. They don't have a sense of grievance. And they feel it far less intensely than they do here in Barcelona.
A Madrileño and a Catalan from Barcelona is still a very different creature. And they're very proud of that difference. Strange thing, of course, don't forget that Real Madrid was founded by 2 Catalans, which is an interesting thing they try to hide in their history.
Sí, el origen del Real Madrid, uno de los padres fundadores, Padrós, era un comerciante catalán y no había ningún problema en tener directivos catalanes en el club. Es más, la colaboración entre el Barcelona y el Real Madrid, cosa que se suele ocultar, ha sido muy estrecha en muchas ocasiones. En los años 60 el Barcelona solicita ayuda técnica, los planos del Bernabéu para inspirarse en la construcción del Nou Camp.
So it is fascinating the degree to which soccer fans just superimpose all this sort of crazy historical stuff they accumulate in something ultimately as simple and banal as a game of soccer.
Yeah, for me, the Barcelona is the big thing in my life, and Real Madrid nothing. It's nothing. It's a different language, different customs. Everything is different.
I was member of Barcelona at 2 hours after I born. I make members of the club to all my sons 2 hours after they born. No? I go first to the club, and then after I go to the clinic to see my wife and my son. But before to go to the clinic, I go to the Barça to say I have a son, please, I want that he come member.
El Real Madrid, pues yo desde pequeñito,
desde chiquitillos, la
siempre
familia
me fundaron la camiseta y desde que ese día sigo siendo blanco y lo seguiré siendo siempre.
Es que sí, pues para mí lo es todo, es mi vida, el Real Madrid es mi vida. Por esa es una pelea que tengo con mi novia todos los días.
¿Tu novia es culé?
No, mi novia no es culé, pero ella dice que quiero más al Madrid que a mi novia y parte de razón no le falta.
The average person on the street is Real Madrid, but not passionately. They don't wear it on their chest or on their sleeve as Barcelona.
Barça! Barça!
Real Madrid, without using the phrase, regards itself as more than a club, but has a vision of itself as a global entity.
It's true that Real Madrid is a very powerful brand, and when we play abroad, we are representing our country. When we play Champions League, of course, that we are representing Spain.
I remember when David Beckham was playing for Real Madrid, the newspaper in Britain conducted a survey, sent out reporters all around the world to see if they could find someone who'd never heard of David Beckham. And eventually, after many months, they found a shepherd in Chad who hadn't heard of him.
Where are you guys from?
Costa Rica.
Guatemala.
México. Somos búlgaros y vivimos en España. Y eso es el primer día que yo llevo a mi hijo a un partido de Santiago Bernabéu a ver el Real Madrid Athletic.
Even when I was in Nigeria about 15 years back, I've been a Real Madrid fan.
That's what sports are all about. They bind people together of different ethnicities and languages and politics into one cult, which is the cult of their team.
It's very difficult to judge really why football is so big worldwide. I think one of the obvious reasons is because it's so simple, because everybody can play it, because you don't need loads of equipment. But probably what it is that sense of being part of something huge, but also part of something that's specifically yours.
Football's both a wonderful and easy way to identify, and I don't mean that in a critical way. I think that all humans, either suffer or have that kind of psyche, if you like, and the weird thing is that once it gets you, it's impossible to take it out of your system. I mean, it's both a psychological and a physical thing almost.
There's elements of collective improvisation. There's elements of, individual athleticism. There's so much creativity involved in, and the thing that I think that makes it so exciting and so unique as a sport is that scoring is so unlikely.
It's more than even spiritual. I think it's for me, it's my life, it's my passion. Even more so, you feel it when you come to play for Barcelona.
Life is frighteningly unpredictable, and we're at the mercy of factors that we do not control, however hard we may try to do so. And football, I think, reflects that to quite a large degree.
It has a beginning, an end, a conflict, resolution. All that is part of a narrative. Some are great stories, some are mediocre stories, and some are terrible stories. But they all have the same sort of arc that a story does. There's a beginning and there's an end, and in between there's a conflict.
You don't know what's going to come first, the goal or the end of the game. The things that makes it so dramatic. It's like when you read a novel, you don't know until you get to the last sentence if the writer's going to pull it off or not. And soccer matches have some of that tension and that drama.
En un terreno de juego sin nada, con un vestido de futbolista, que al final no tienes ninguna protección, no tienes una corbata, no tienes un despacho, no tienes nada que te proteja de algo que es sencillo, que es tener una pelota en los pies y moverla con cierto sentido, y entonces yo creo que nos muestra al ser humano o a los hombres muy desde donde somos, ¿no? Con nuestras carencias y también con nuestras fortalezas, desde cosas que a veces nosotros no conocemos de nosotros mismos, ¿no? De nuestra competitividad, de nuestra capacidad de crear, de inventar, de innovar, y al revés. Yo creo que representa mucho de lo que somos como seres humanos.
Pero yo creo que el fútbol tiene todos esos ritos simbólicos, desde la adscripción del hincha a su equipo, el juego como batalla, el juego como obra de arte, el acontecimiento social, el acontecimiento cultural, las miradas simbólicas, lo que representa un equipo y representa otro, que de alguna manera concentra en 90 minutos y en un estadio todo aquello que da significado al mundo.
Para acercarte a España, para acercarte a Cataluña, una buena manera es a través del Barça o a través del Madrid y esa rivalidad, porque son dos clubes que de alguna forma representan dos maneras diferentes y distintas de entender el juego.
Barcelona are the stylist, lots of clever jabs, lots of nice movement, lots of contact on the body. Real Madrid might well lumber into the ring, but then they'll deliver the knockout blow.
I think Barcelona's going to win today. 3-0. 3-0. I think Barcelona's going to win 3-0. Who's going to score for Barcelona? Messi. 2 goals from Messi, 1 from Pedro. 2 goals from Ronaldo, 1 from Higuain. Barcelona, Madrid.
I'm Madrid fan.
Why Madrid?
Well, I just love Cristiano Ronaldo, that's why. Is this a good reason or not?
Hoy a muerte. Hoy vamos a meterle 5 al Barça. 5. Ellos nos metieron el año pasado 6 y le vamos a meter 5 hoy. Para que se le quiten las tonterías ya.
My predictions: Real Madrid 3, Barca 1. Real Madrid 3, Barca 1. Let's see if it comes true.
We like Real Madrid also, but this place is Barcelona, so we don't want to die.
Quant quedaran? He's saying that Barcelona 1, Madrid 4. So I say the other way around. Barcelona 4, Madrid 1. We'll see. The best is gonna win.
The easiest thing to say when I see Messi, I see God. Messi does things that are mind-boggling. I mean, he doesn't fit the stereotype of what a soccer player should look like.
There are certain sports where it just seems that to be a certain height or width appears to be some kind of an advantage. In football, just absolutely not.
Sigue siendo el mejor jugador del mundo, eso es porque tiene una calidad especial. Después, creo que yo como defensor, en el partido que me toca jugar con él, es concentrarme al máximo, estar pendiente de cada movimiento y bueno, tanto cuando tiene la pelota como cuando no la tienen.
There are moments when you see that Messi has forgotten where he is. You know, he's no longer in the Bernabeu and he's no longer in Camp Nou. He's no longer one player on one of the richest teams in the richest league in the world. He's a kid on the streets enjoying himself, you know, fully immersed in the moment.
Esto no, toda la gente habla de mí, de Messi. No vamos a jugar solo los dos, esto no es un duelo individual.
Ho has de dir, per què t'agrada el Madrid?
Perquè m'agrada Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's saying that he loves Cristiano Ronaldo.
Now, what's to like about him? My God, it's like unbridled talent. What is it that he can't do? There's not much.
Cristiano Ronaldo is a very unique player. He combines great physical abilities, great speed, great skill with the ball, great long distance shot, great ability with both legs. When you combine all those things and you put the stats of last year when he scored 40 goals in La Liga, basically you're coming up to discover one of the best players.
You can't reach his level without being, the hardest worker there is. His talent is not as rare as people think it is. How you channel that talent and the ambition and the dedication that it takes. And some, actually, I would even go to and say, the psychological problems that you must have to actually want to work that hard at something to make it. You have to tip your hat off to him. He's an amazing player.
Buenas, el partido Madrid-Barça se plantea como un doble duelo, como un duelo Messi-Cristiano Ronaldo, aunque son dos equipos que juegan. Para ti, ¿quién es el mejor jugador del mundo actualmente?
Lo mayor soy yo, por lo menos de altura.
El mejor.
Y más ancho también, eso es seguro.
We get so blinded by star power of certain players is that the team 99% of the time makes the player. Messi is Messi because he plays with Xavi, and because he has all these other players surrounding him that open up space for him, because he's receiving passes from one of the great midfielders in the history of the game.
Yo creo que tanto Messi como Cristiano resuelven un partido en cualquier jugada. Prácticamente eso te da mucha más tranquilidad, ¿no? Saber que tienes un jugador que en cualquier jugada te puede hacer un gol, pues es mucho más fácil para los jugadores que están detrás, ¿no?
Porque se juntan varios de los mejores jugadores del mundo, porque es el Madrid y el Barcelona, porque está Cristiano Ronaldo y porque está Messi, que es un clásico dentro del clásico.
So the pressure is really on Real Madrid, and indeed on Cristiano Ronaldo, the most expensive player in the game's history. He's going to be coming up against Messi.
How do you feel about your goals today? Amazing.
Very good. I'm happy.
Do you think you have a good start to the season?
Yeah.
It's wonderful that the way that people follow football and the time and money that's spent on it is philosophically absurd, and yet it's that absurdity that makes it interesting. It's not the absurdity that makes it wrong.
Cuando llega Cruyff al Barcelona en el año 88, propone un modelo futbolístico que es muy heterodoxo. Cruyff cambia todo eso y hace que la belleza, la creatividad sea eficaz. Despoja a sus equipos de defensas, introduce más jugadores de ataque y convierte a su equipo en el único equipo prácticamente en el mundo que tiene una manera singular de jugar, posesión de la pelota, influencia enorme de los centrocampistas creativos, un cierto desdén defensivo en favor del fútbol de ataque, un gusto estético evidente y, curiosamente, eso se traduce en éxitos.
Ves que la bola va matemáticamente, pues un matemático era capaz de interpretar la cadencia de los pases de la misma forma que un poeta era capaz de contar que representaba aquella forma de jugar.
You are talking about this style of playing soccer called tiki-taka. In Spain, the expression tiki-taka means that of playing football like if it was some kind of geometry.
I would think it's A plus B plus C, but I would add A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F because they do a lot more than 3 passes. They take their time.
Cruyff basically introduced 2 things to Barcelona as a player and as coach. One, playing style based on possession football, playing the ball along the ground, short passing game, domination in midfield, and aesthetic, a game of patience, whereas Real Madrid are more direct, more effusive and explosive, if you like.
Pues el Barça es un fiel reflejo de esta estética, que es el gusto por la pelota, el gusto por la posesión, y cuando empiezas a decir cuántos remates, cuánta posesión, toda esa estadística que también hace la cultura americana, y sin embargo el Barça es un club que ha conseguido que las estadísticas tengan sentido, por el tiempo de posesión de la pelota, por los remates que tiene a portería, por la cantidad de productividad del fútbol.
To me, there's something so exciting about that style of play, because it's just like, how long can they continue to do this? You know, how long can they? It's almost like it's an aesthetic exercise, and they seem less interested in actually scoring, which is ostensibly the point.
El Madrid por naturaleza es un equipo de vértigo, vertiginoso. Es un equipo al que le cuesta más elaborar el juego. Es un equipo que está muy relacionado con la velocidad y la verticalidad de Cristiano Ronaldo y Higuaín. Son jugadores veloces, más conectados con el gol que con el juego. El Madrid es un equipo de aceleración.
Everybody talks about the beautiful brand of soccer Barcelona plays, but they tend to forget Real Madrid had, in the last decade, I would say, some very, very beautiful soccer playing teams. Raúl, Zidane, the likes of a Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, that is. It is pretty clear, year in and year out, Real Madrid is one of the best teams in the world. It's reflected on their brand of play. Fans want to see them score, want to see them win championships. They want to see Real Madrid play at a very, very high level of soccer.
It's wonderful. Real Madrid play tactical football, and they play with seriousness, and they play to win. They play right from the first minute of the game to the last minute with seriousness, and I love that.
A few years ago, I remember a columnist describing Barcelona as the most seductive team he'd ever seen. And the comeback to that is that, yeah, Barcelona might take you out and buy you the finest wines and take you to the finest meal and take you back to a wonderful penthouse, but Real Madrid will come in, club you over the head and drag you back into their cave by the hair, and that, in the end, still leads to the same result.
Es curioso porque el mito de la rivalidad entre el Madrid y el Barcelona, que funciona muy bien durante todo el año en la Liga Española, cuando se traslada a la selección no ocurre. Es decir, la relación de los jugadores del Real Madrid con los del Barcelona es excepcional, excelente.
So usually there's not such a problem when it comes to the players. I mean, the Spanish national team has played with Basque, Catalans, Galicians or Castilians without that being a problem. It's never been a problem.
Well, I remember when I played for the national team, I had very good friends in Barcelona. Bizarreta, for example, is a close friend.
Casi todos, muchos de ellos son amigos desde que eran niños, porque casi todos han participado en las categorías inferiores de la selección española. Es decir, Casilla y Xavi, que son quizá los dos principales jugadores de la selección española. Casillas es el capitán y Xavi es el mejor jugador de la selección española. Madrid y Barcelona fueron campeones del mundo juveniles en el año 99. Son muy amigos desde entonces. Y eso se traslada prácticamente a todos los jugadores. La relación de todos ellos es muy buena. Se saben distinguir claramente su profesión de lo que significan cada uno de ellos en el Real Madrid y Barcelona.
Pero sí es cierto que lo que se puede comprobar es una cosa muy simple, que antes quizá sacar una bandera de España por las calles o ponerte una camiseta de España a lo mejor no estaba mal visto, pero desde que llegamos con la Eurocopa y ahora con el Mundial, oye, pues yo que llegué de Sudáfrica y ver los balcones, ver las casas con la bandera de España, con los niños con la camiseta de España o cualquier producto que sea relacionado con España, pues oye, está bien. A mí personalmente me encanta, me gusta y yo me siento español y encantado.
The players perhaps take a little more of a professional approach to it, but you look at the way Ramos reacted last year. He had his country's captain, Carlos Puyol, basically by the hair. And when Xavi came over to try to calm him down. He pushed him aside. These weren't teammates anymore. That went out of the window.
But the players are just players. You've got a sort of a short lifespan because they're young. Because when you're 32, 33, it's all over. They're in it for the fun, for the passion, sure, but also for the bucks. And so someone comes along and offers them twice the money. Their career's going to end in 3 years' time. Hey, so the attitude of the players is just so radically different than that of the fans. Obviously, some players make a bigger deal out of it than others. So in other words, the Catalan players in the Barcelona team, they carry in their genes, in their culture, that sense of rivalry, and it means a lot more to them.
Most players, when they leave Barcelona or Madrid, move abroad. They don't move from one of the two. Very few players have done it. It's very dangerous in Spain.
There's nothing that the fans find more despicable and loathsome than when a player who's been playing for one of their clubs signs for the other one, does transfers to the other one, which has happened quite a bit. And there was a case of a player called Luis Figo.
Luis Figo. The Figo case absolutely poisoned the waters between Madrid and Barcelona.
Well, the transfer of Figo was, akin to nuclear fission. It was massive, and it may or may not happen again. But it's only in the history of these two clubs, which you're talking over 100 years, incidents like the Figo incident has only happened like 3 times, which shows you how powerful it is.
He was one of the top 2 or 3 players in the world around about the year 2000, who left Barcelona for Real Madrid, lured by huge amounts of cash. And when he came back to play for Real Madrid in Barcelona, having played for Barcelona for 4 or 5 years before that, I mean, the loathing, the hatred that poured down from these 100,000 people onto this guy was astonishing. I remember in one case he went to take a corner and someone threw him the head of a suckling pig, a little pig's head that landed at his feet.
It took him 10 minutes to take the corner because people were throwing a great variety of objects at him, a pig's head, bottle of whiskey, and I think about 35 mobile phones.
And I remember a banner which was actually really good, it was really clever. Someone had a huge banner that said, "We hate you so much because we loved you so much." And, there is nothing more unforgivable.
These things are harboured deep within their fans. And, the pig's head that was thrown at Figo. These kids aren't kidding. I mean, these fans, they're not messing around. They're not coming to watch a game of football. They're coming to watch something that means infinitely more.
You are professional. You are playing for Real Madrid, and of course on Saturday you're going to do your best to win. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be disrespectful with your opponent. No?
Está bonito porque nosotros tenemos los mismos puntos y se torna un partido más especial. Pero de alguna forma tengo algo de malo con cada una intenta ganar independientemente del equipo que jueguen. Yo simplemente voy a dar lo mejor como intento hacer en todos los partidos, no solo esto.
En este sentido, me parece que los jugadores instalan un clima de normalidad en el fútbol español en contra de lo que a veces supone la visión de los medios de comunicación de esta rivalidad Madrid-Barcelona. Parece que lo más sensato de esta rivalidad la ponen los jugadores.
The fans have got their reality, these crazy myths and all this history and all this identity that they project onto the club. Many, if not most, of the players on each side are not even Spanish. And so these guys are kind of, the Barca team is kind of the sort of warriors for Catalonia, but, they're Swedish or they're Brazilians or whatever. Like Messi, who's, he's been living here for about nearly 10 years in Barcelona, but he's an Argentine kid who remains an unreconstructed Argentine, whose accent is totally Argentine, who lives with his Argentine family. I'm sure that all this Catalan stuff doesn't mean very much to all the historical stuff, means very little to him. But in the kind of fevered, bonkers, irrational imagination of the soccer fan, this guy is nevertheless a soldier fighting for Catalonia to avenge the historical, injuries of 500 years ago.
few years ago, Real Madrid had a trophy exhibition in the stadium. And as you came in, there was a big sign on the wall, and it basically said, "Trophies tell the whole story." There's no need for cliches, there's no need for rhetoric. We are all about success and we win absolutely everything.
We have the most titles. We are the kings in the UEFA Champions League. We have 31 La Liga titles. So, I mean, you can't beat that. The numbers back us up. This is the best team in the world.
At the beginning of the season, you check the fixture list, and then you immediately want to know when you are going to play against Barcelona, because it's the game of the season. The stadium is full, there is a lot of attention throughout the week, everybody in the street encouraged you to beat them, so it's a special game, it's really a special game.
Barça-Madrid encara falta molt, però és un partit que sempre vol jugar, que tothom espera.
Depending on which side of the table you're on, this is simply good against evil.
Real Madrid have a sense of entitlement to success, and I think that means that when success doesn't happen, and in particular when success for Barcelona does, it creates a real concern. And bit by bit, Madrid have been confronted with a situation in which actually Barcelona right now are possibly the better side. That is a new departure for Real Madrid, who've always had, or at least always believed that they've had cockiness, and that Barcelona are the ones that are going to get fearful and going to get scared. Right now, I think it's actually a little bit more equal than Madrid fans would like to believe.
There's something special about this Barcelona side, but it cannot last forever. And somebody's going to prick the balloon, and Jose Mourinho is holding the pin.
The rivalry between these two teams is very much an expression, and it's probably quite healthy, actually. Maybe if there wasn't the Barcelona-Real Madrid escape, things would be a lot more ugly on the ground. Maybe there'd be a lot more violence in between the two.
Puede considerar que son las grandes batallas incruentas que ahora mismo se libran entre españoles. A mí no me cabe la menor duda.
These two teams are neck and neck in La Liga. They are absolutely wiping the floor with every other club in the Spanish league, and they're kind of, it's like they're parading towards each other, these two absolute beasts.
It's the King Kong against Godzilla. It is Real Madrid against Barcelona, the eternal enemies, and they want to cut each other's heads off and play in each other's blood, and they'll be happy, smiling, doing it.
When it comes to this game, you can't escape the politics. When it comes to this game, it's a Catalan army fighting against the Castilian state.
Every time they play each other, there seems to be a ratchet up of the gear. And every year, it seems for me that it has got more beguiling, more complex, more vicious. And I think last year that proved to be the case because it was getting very nasty.
In and of itself, the soccer game is just a silly soccer game. But when we come and we see, Real against Barcelona, it becomes El Clasico, because we've decided that this is El Clasico, so it means a lot more. So it's what we bring to the soccer game.
El Barcelona quiere ser el mejor equipo, no solo de España, sino del mundo. El Madrid tiene la sensación, porque así fue definido por la FIFA hace unos años, como el mejor equipo del siglo XX. Quiere ser el mejor equipo del siglo XXI. Para lograrlo tiene un problema, es el Barcelona. Y el Barcelona tiene otro problema, es el Real Madrid. Y así se construyen los duelos y los mitos en la historia. La historia en cualquier ámbito, en el fútbol también.